Children, and welcome back to another session of biology class. Last week we were doing body fluids and circulation, and we are continuing with the same chapter. Okay, today we are going to see how the heartbeat is regulated, controlled. Last lesson we saw how it is controlled, hormonal control and nervous control, like that. Okay, now the heart is highly made up of muscles, you know that. So we can say our heart is myogenic. Myogenic means made of muscles or controlled by muscles, right? Okay, now there is an area of the brain called as the medulla oblongata. It is that area which controls the rate of heartbeat through autonomous nervous system. It controls the heartbeat through two types of nerves of the autonomous nervous system. Okay, now which are the two types of nerves? They are the sympathetic nervous system or nerves and parasympathetic nerves. Both of these, sympathetic and parasympathetic, is opposite in function, children. Okay, now when the sympathetic nerves helps to increase the heartbeat, rate of heartbeat, or the strength of ventricular contraction and the cardiac output. Finally, the cardiac output. Sympathetic, what does it do? It helps to increase the heartbeat, strength of ventricular contraction. Then the output is more, little bit more than the usual, right? Cardiac output is more. Whereas the opposite is happening by parasympathetic nerves. It decreases the heartbeat and conduction of action potential, and the cardiac output is also reduced. And one more control is there, which is our adrenal gland above our kidneys. There is one gland called as adrenal gland. Okay, adrenal has two regions, adrenal medulla and cortex. Adrenal medulla secretes some hormones which help in increasing heartbeat, the rate of heartbeat. Adrenal medulla secretes hormones which help in increasing the heartbeat. Okay, now next comes the lymphatic system. We have already discussed about lymphatic system. That is, it is another type of circulatory system in our body which help in distributing or helps in the transport of some substances, of course. Now, how is this? What is this lymphatic system made up of? Like our blood vascular system is made up of blood vessels and all, these are made up of lymphatic vessels. And what is flowing inside this lymphatic vessels? It is the lymph, the fluid called as lymph. It is white in color. Okay, and the main cells present in lymph is the lymphocytes. Okay, now how this is formed? Now when the arteries carry pure blood, oxygenated blood from the heart to the organs and all, right? When it reaches the organs or cells, it becomes the minute capillaries. The arteries divide into minute capillaries. Okay, these capillaries end in the tissues or intracellular spaces. It goes and finally reaches there. Okay, at that point, these liquids, the plasma is given and blood cells pass through these these blood vessels, and reaches because it carries oxygen, it carries CO2, it carries nutrients, everything to give it to the cells and tissues. But when it reaches the tissue level, this liquid, the plasma, mainly the plasma, along with many other components, is drained out through the lymphatic vessels, and it flows in the lymphatic vessels as lymph, right? And only the lymphocytes are passing into this lymph through the lymphatic, flows through the lymphatic system. At certain places in our body, this lymphatic system is present as lymph nodes. This one is the lymph nodes represented here. that is the lymph vessels are flowing. At some places it just enlarges to form the lymph nodes, right? And these lymph nodes are the places where they capture, they retain the germs, the antigens, the microbes entering the system and just gets killed there in this lymph nodes. Children, after you recover from some kind of illness, you would have noted on the either side of the throat there is a swelling and little pain. Also in the armpit, both the armpits and also the groin, you develop some pain, right? So these are the areas where the lymph nodes are concentrated in more numbers, okay? And these are the areas where the germs are getting caught and getting killed, okay children? And one more function of this lymphatic vessel or lymph is the transport of fat molecules, lipids. Children, in the small intestine, absorption of nutrients happens, right? So all the digested food, the glucose, the amino acids, all those materials pass into the blood from the intestine through the villi. Intestine has villi, right? See, these villi are provided with see, these are the veins, these are the arteries, and this white or this mud color is the lymphatic vessel, okay? So this villi is provided with all the blood vessels, the lymphatic vessels, everything. And the fat, after fat digestion, the lipids, after this fat digestion, these molecules are bigger so that it cannot pass through the arteries. It cannot or it will not enter the arteries, but those materials enter the lymphatic system. They enter the lymphatic system and finally they join with the blood circulatory system through the blood. Okay, so what is the main function of lymphatic system? Mainly to trap and destroy the germs which is entering our body, plus at the places called lymph nodes. Plus one more function is it helps to transport fat digestion materials, okay, because they cannot enter the the arteries, okay. Now next we'll go through disorders of the circulatory system. Now first of the disorders is the hypertension or the high BP. Now the pressure of circulating blood on the walls of the blood vessels is called as blood pressure. For a normal person, the blood pressure is 120 by 80 mm of mercury. 120 by 80. What is this 120 and what is this value 80? 120 is the systolic pressure. Systolic means contraction, when the heart contracts and pumps the blood, pumping pressure. And the 80 is the diastolic pressure. It's a relaxing state, okay, resting state. Okay, 120 by 80 mm of mercury. Okay, suppose now a person is going and analyzing his BP and it is above 120 by 80. Suppose it is 140 by 90. That means he is not having blood pressure, of course. That may be due to some kind of tension, or he may have done a strenuous exercise. Okay, but when a person is showing above 120 by 80 continuously for over a long period of time, then the person is suffering from high BP. Okay, if you take an exercise, strenuous exercise, or if you are tensed, if you are angry or in such cases the pressure may go up. Okay, next disorder is CAD, which is coronary artery disease, or it is also called as atherosclerosis. Children, it is the deposition of fat or calcium or any other salt which is blocking the passage of blood in the arteries. Okay, it may happen in any of the blood vessels of our body, but when the coronary artery is blocked, coronary artery is the artery which supplies blood to the heart. Okay, if that artery is blocked by either fat deposits or calcium, or these form plaque like structures, very hard deposition of the found in the wall, which is and narrows the passage of the arteries, and the blood cannot flow easily, and the pressure will again increase. Okay, so this will lead to heart attack or some other problems of the heart. So this is called as atherosclerosis, which is due to deposition of fat or certain ions like calcium and all in the walls of the artery, especially the coronary artery. Next disease is the angina pectoris, or simply angina pectoris, which is when a person develops chest pain, acute chest pain due to oxygen deficiency. Due to less oxygen is transported to the heart. Why there is less oxygen transport to the heart? It is because of the lungs. Lungs is not working properly, or lungs is not supplying enough of oxygen to the heart. Okay, so the person may develop acute pain, chest pain, because of lack of oxygen to the heart muscles or heart. Okay, that is called as angina. Next is heart failure. Heart fail, which is the inability of the heart to pump blood to meet the needs of the body. That is, the heart is not able to pump enough blood to the body. That it is called as heart failure of the heart. Okay, now cardiac arrest. All these three are slight different conditions. Okay, you may not mistake each of these things. Cardiac arrest is completely stopping of the heart. Completely stops. Heart stops completely and it is not at all pumping. Okay, and the third case is heart attack. It is a sudden damage of the heart muscles. The heart muscles get damaged because of the less supply of blood to the heart. When there is no adequate supply of blood to the heart, the muscles may get weakened. The oxygen is needed for its working. The blood is the one which supplies. Okay, so the heart, then it is called as heart attack. Okay, children, that is with the chapter. Thank you, all of you.